Everyone, this is Jim Gillis with WinMyVote, and today's video is just an intro to WinMyVote, how it works, how it functions, and how we're going to engineer money out of elections and save democracy. So first off, sorry about all that glare. I'll get rid of that. Um, so the first step is sort of how do we get ourselves in this mess, right? Where money is so pervasive and money works so well in elections. And I would place that blame right at the doorstep of the elections departments throughout this country collectively, meaning that they haven't done anything. They haven't changed their voter information booklet in 100 years. They haven't gone online, mobile, or social. They play such a non factor in elections now that Gavin Newsom, who is the sitting lieutenant governor running for governor of California, didn't even bother putting in a candidate profile in the booklet, and ended up winning by 24%, which is considered a landslide in elections. So the question is, why haven't they gone online, mobile, or social? They could build an incredible site and would be probably cheaper than what they're doing now. They could have all of the candidates and all of the races organized on an online, mobile, and social practice ballot so that the candidates could have these like social media like profiles, and then they could campaign directly on the practice ballot. So as a voter, I could just go through each one of them and hear what they have to say and look at their issue statements, their endorsements, all that stuff, and then I could fill out my practice ballot online or mobile. And I'd have everything I needed in one place. That's everything. I could check on my voter registration status. I could find my polling place. I could do all these things, and because of that, I would actively decide for whom to vote. And I think that's the real big thing when it comes to money in elections, is because we don't have a place where we're actively deciding to vote. We decide to vote sometime when we're driving down the highway and we see a billboard for the fifth time or whatever it may be. And underneath there, it says that would be the true level playing field. So this is one of my favorite cartoons about innovation and disrupting industries and that type of thing. And this is the head of the elections department. I think I can hide this. Sorry about that. Saying here, they could build a better mousetrap, but think of the implications, right? Think of the implications for the sitting party or the controlling government to make it easier to run for office or cheaper to run for office. It's really not in their best interest. So it kind of led me to think, why hasn't someone in Silicon Valley done this, right? I mean, I've seen them, every catalog under the sun has been, disrupted and brought online. The money is certainly there, depending on how you count it. It's anywhere between $5 and $11 billion industry. The buyers, in this buyer and seller platform, the buyers, the voters are extremely unhappy. The sellers, the candidates are extremely unhappy. A lot of people don't talk about that, but if you talk to any of the candidates, the one thing that they say is the worst part of the job is having to raise money. The reason that they leave the most often is because of that. And you can see some of the numbers down here. The city and local government, it's on average $60,000 to run for office. So, these numbers have just, escalated out of control. And now you don't even have regular people running for office anymore. The only people that are happy with this system, is big special interest in money. And you can see the candidates down here, none more happy than anyone else. So I couldn't think of any good reason why Silicon Valley hadn't, why anyone else hadn't. So I decided to build one myself, and this is what we came up with. You get onto the homepage. You can put your address or just your zip code in, and we will get you your upcoming ballot. And it will look like this, and this will be your homepage, and everything will go through the ballot. So right when you're here, you immediately know when the election is, when it's coming up, and the offices that are on your ballot. And you have all the things that you need on one single page. So for example, you can click here and see important dates leading up to the election, like last day to register to vote and those types of things. Also, keep in mind, this is just, PowerPoint and some screenshots mixed up. The graphics in the front end looks much better on what we're working on. But you can check on your polling. You can get your polling place. You just type your address in and you get a nice map, turn by turn directions. You can check on your voter registration status. So if you can register to vote online, we'll bring you right to the right page where you can just fill it out and make sure that you're all set up. and then I'll show you those other ones later. But you can quickly toggle between state and county and city and other. And you can go up and down your ballot. So you can go down here to city council races and school board races and click through all of them. You can go down to the state propositions and the local measures. You can even see the pending propositions and pending measures. You can click through to those and see who's supporting them, who's opposing them, which I'll show you in a second on those. But the way it works, the way it functions in real life is that as the candidates build their profiles, they are going to be featured here on the ballot. So you'll be looking at all of the candidates side by side, and you can scroll down and you can see these candidates entering the race, and you can say, this is great stuff, right? So for example, I'll give you an example how easy it is for a candidate to build a profile. So the candidate would sign up as a candidate, and they would just pick a picture, and they want to do a video. They just put the share URL from YouTube in there. They hit save, and it just features that. So it's super simple to do that. And then one kind of side note I'll do here is adding trusted sources to your ballot. And this is an opt-in, right? So you click on trusted sources and you'll see a library of groups and organizations and individuals that are making endorsements and favoriting ballots and that type of thing. So you say, yeah, I want to see, with Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, and I like Sarah Silverman, so I'm going to add her. I'm going to add the Sierra Club, and I'm going to start searching for some other groups and organizations that I really like. So let's say I like Moms Demand Action. I type that in there and I go search, and now here they are. I can add them to my trusted sources, or I can even just click through and I can look at their ballot. And here's their ballot, and I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to see where they stand on the propositions as well as all of the candidates. And here I'll give you another little side road here. I'll show you how easy it is for groups to go through and create favorites and endorsements. So this person right here is the admin for Moms Demand Action group, and she simply signs up, say I want to create a group, names the group, and then that group gets ballots, and the group can endorse on any ballot in the country. And the ballots would function just like a voter's ballot. So they scroll down, they click on Mike here. They want to endorse Mike. They can put a video in there or a written endorsement in there, and they publish, and that's it. And they can go through their whole ballot real quickly like that. So now I'm looking at their ballot, which is sort of like their online voter guide, and I can see who they're going to endorse, and I can also click straight through and update my ballot. So let's say I agree with them on Mark Cuban for president. I just click the star, and now my ballot is updated as well. And let's say I really like them and know people there, and I want to vote like them on all of the candidates as well as all of the propositions, except for this one. And I have full control still, so I'm going to edit this one, and I'm going to say no on that. And just while you're looking here, just a quick little thing on these percentages. I can also click straight through, and I can see how each one of these propositions is doing on WinMyVote. So what we're hoping on this one is that groups and organizations that are supporting and opposing propositions can all see these numbers as well. So again, they don't need to spend tons of money, trying to do polling and influencing and all that other type of stuff. We have it right here. We'll show you all the numbers. We're really, mostly interested in just the issues and the arguments. So now I'm going to add this group to my list of trusted sources, and I'm going to search for my friend Sarah, and I'm going to add her. So now when I'm going back to my ballot, I can click through these candidates and I can see all of my endorsements and all of my trusted sources endorsements. And again, a quick little note here on getting money out of elections. The way that it gets money out of elections is that I'm looking at the candidates right here. They're all side by side. Kimberly here is spending $300,000 on her campaign for city council, and Mike is spending 500 bucks. But it doesn't matter to me because I'm looking at both of them side by side. So I'm going to click on Mike's profile. I'm going to watch a video. I'm going to go up here, do a quick bio, see where he went to school, see where he's working. I can see the party that he's running under, or I can share his profile if I want. I can ask him anything. I can go right to his webpage if I want to get additional information. I can donate to his campaign through here. I can also, see where he stands on the issues. And again, I can scroll down and see all of his issues, or I can do a little quick, list here, and that's the one that I'm most important. I mean, that's the one that I think is most important for me. And I'm going to read through that, and I can even drill down and learn more. And since the candidates are building their own profiles, they can add as much of this stuff as they want. They can add videos and images and text and links and you name it. And I can scroll through here and see all this stuff, and and go as deep as I'd like. So here on endorsements, the first time I'm clicking, it's going to be all of the candidates' endorsements. These are the ones that the candidate has decided to feature. So I can see all those, but let's say I don't want to see those necessarily. I just want to see my trusted sources, the groups and organizations that I trust. I want to see how they're, if they've favorited or endorsed Mike here. And I can see my friend Sarah here has, so I can just click on that, and I can watch her video, and she can just shoot this video on her iPhone, upload it to YouTube, and then it links straight in, and I can watch it like that. I also like Unite America, so I want to see what they have to say, and this is enough for me. I'm now favoriting Mike, and then I'm going to go back to my ballot, and you can see he's moved into the first position here, and this is kind of grayed out, so it's nice and prominent here. I can also share him, so I'm going to share his profile with a friend, and I'm going to send it to that friend. And when the friend clicks through, they'll go right to Mike's profile here, and then they can log in with social media, and now they're on Mike's profile here, and they're doing the same thing. They're seeing endorsements. They have a mutual friend in Sarah, so they can see hers, and now she's influencing another person. And he says, okay, great. And he goes back to his ballot, and Mike is his choice as well. So let's say Robert votes 31 here, decides to add a bunch of trusted sources, and he then goes down and he's looking through these propositions, and the one that's most important to him is this proposition 2. So he clicks on that, and now he can read about the proposition. You can see a little explainer video, and he can then scroll through all of the trusted sources that he's added and see where they stand on this proposition. So Ethan Behrman here, he did a great series. He's a radio talk show host in California, did a great series on all of the state propositions, really in depth and real thoughtful, and posted them on YouTube. And now you can hear them all right as you're looking at the proposition. So he says great to that. He also wants to hear what the other side has to say, so he can click there, and he can listen to opposing arguments as well. These right here, and again, I apologize about the graphics. This is more to do with dealing with back end functionality and describing those types of things. The front end is going to look much nicer. But you'll have opportunities here to say, hey, this is a leading argument, but it's not one of your trusted sources. Would you like to see what they have to say, right? So you can opt in, sort of in real time, opt in here, and then you can say, okay, great, I do want to hear what this person has to say about this proposition. So now I can go up here and I can vote, and I'm going to say yes on that one, and it's going to ask me if I want to do an endorsement. I'm going to say sure. I can do a video there, and then you can see it's nice and prominent here. Yes, and then I'm going to share this back, and I'm going to share it back with Faster Voter 22, which is sort of me in this scenario. So now I go right to this proposition, and I say, okay, this is interesting. Let's see what my friend has to say about this, and I can click straight through and listen to what he has to say. And again, this can be something that's a 20-second video on his phone, real quick. Hey, trust me on this one, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Vote yes or no on this one. So I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to trust him. I'm going to vote yes on that one. And now, when I go back to my ballot, they'll all be, there. And I'm going to go up to the top, and I'm going to do just my favorites so that I can go through all of the candidates that I have here. And I can go down to the propositions and make sure I've filled out my practice ballot completely. And now I'm going to find my polling place, and away I go. And I can grab the map here on my mobile, and I can again see all of my favorites and all that stuff ready to go. So the business model is real simple. It is candidates pay on average $2.99 per election per year to have an active profile. So it's sort of just like online dating or the freemium models for LinkedIn and other professional type of profiles. Um, the numbers are about 500,000, a little more than that, elected offices in the U.S. There's about 1 million candidates. We think there's going to be a lot more people running for office in 2020. And with a platform like this, we can see that number go way, way up. And just to give you an idea, when we used to put out a job, even if it was say VP of operations for a call center, that was some of the stuff that I used to do. We would get 100 resumes, and we would get 50 resumes that were good. We would narrow that down to 20, and then to 10, and then to 5. In that process, and that's what we're hoping happens when it comes to running for Congress. We're hoping that we have 100 people or 200 people that are well qualified people that are willing to run for Congress. And then we as voters will have an opportunity, a tool, a platform to be able to share those and then favorite and unfavorite and go about that selective process, so that moving into the primaries, it's not all about raising $1 million and getting a couple of big endorsements. So we built the platform. We kind of beta tested it with the National Association of Student Council. It was 1,100 incoming high school seniors. I would love to talk with anyone about that, because it was a great experience, seeing them, debating and commenting and going back and forth and changing their mind and all that. And then we also did the National Student Parent Mock Election, which was 113,000 teachers and students. And again, rave reviews, and everyone loved it. We'll be doing the 2020 National Student Vote. We already have a couple of sponsors and partners that we're working with, and we think this one is going to be the biggest by far. And so that is the end of the intro, and would love to talk with you guys. I didn't even cover all the features that the platform has and that we're building. So I'd be happy to demo the site, the live site. As a matter of fact, see if so this is what the live site looks like right now. And this right here, this zip code is Katie Hill is a congressperson that just resigned. So they're having a special election for her seat, and all sorts of action happened within just the first couple of weeks after her resignation. So let's say if I'm in that district, I would be able to see all of the candidates that are running for the Democratic primary if I've chose to be a Democrat, and I can scroll down, and then I can see all of the candidates that are running for Katie Hill's seat in 25. And I'll be able to click straight through to them, and I can hear what they have to say.
This hasn't been a journey of weeks. For a lot of us, this has been a journey of years in this community. We have declared our presence, and we're not turning back, because there are so many.
And now I can get a real good idea of Christy Smith, as well as, and I think the guy who lost, Stephen King, I think he lost in the general election to Katie Hill in the top 2 California.
My name is Janet Demeter, and I'm from Santa Clarita. When my son Jack was 3 years old, he was diagnosed with deadly brain cancer. After he died, I turned to Steve Knight to help me author a bill which brings attention to childhood brain cancer. I'm grateful to Steve Knight because he listened.
Anyway, sorry about that. I hadn't watched that one yet. But you can see that this is sort of more of just like a test ballot. The format is a little bit different than the stuff that I just walked through. But anyway, we'd be happy to demo this, to give you a sneak peek of the new site and all that, and talk with you anytime. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.